Hi everyone, Vinny here. We have been following my journey with my Mercedes Sprinter van. You know I had a frustrating issue. My battery has died 4 times. This van's been sitting in my driveway while under construction, and every time I need it, it just won't start. Charging it takes over 24 hours, which is kind of annoying. So today I'm testing two 10-watt solar car battery chargers from Ecoworthy, one regular one and one upgraded version, to see if they can keep my battery alive. There's some debate online about whether these trickle chargers work or if they could even damage your battery. When they see the operating voltage was 18 volt, they freak out because 18 volts are just too high for charging a 12 volt battery. Stick around as I put these to the test and share my honest thought. Let's jump right in. Ecoworthy sent me 2 of the 10-watt solar car battery chargers for this review. No sponsorship here, so I'm free to share my unfiltered opinion. These are the regular 10-watt versions, and this is the upgraded 10-watt version. Priced at $22.67 and $33.99 on Amazon at the time of testing. You might be wondering why there are 2 versions with the same wattage. Let's break down the difference. The regular version measures 11 by 10.25 inch and weighs 10.9 ounces, while the upgraded version is slightly smaller at 10.25 times 10.25 inch and 27% lighter at 7.9 ounces. You can see this is slightly shorter, but they're the same height. Both comes with alligator clips for direct battery connection, but the upgraded version also included an OBD2 connectors cable for plugging into your car's OBD2 port, and the regular version just comes with a cigarette lighter port. Ecoworthy recommends the alligator clip since most cars don't have power the cigarette lighter when turned off. The upgraded version also has a built-in kickstand for angle adjustment, which the regular version lacks. Both versions have suction cups for attachment to your windshield, but the regular version is one-piece suction cups that are tricky to install, while the upgraded version uses 2-piece threaded suction cups, which are much easier to put on and take off. Specs wise, both panels are identical. 10-watt maximum power, 18 volt optimum operating voltage, 0.56 amp current, and 21 volt open circuit voltage, and 0.58 amp short circuit current. Some folks online worry about the 21 volt open circuit voltage, thinking it could overcharge and damage a 12 volt battery. Let's find out if that's true. Here's how I test these chargers over 2 weeks. First, I'll use a multimeter to measure the open circuit voltage and current of both panels. Then I will connect them to my van's battery and check the voltage and current under load. I will also test the panels in 2 placements, outside on the dashboard and inside behind the windshield, to see how placement affects performance. Next, I will compare the suction cups for ease of installation and stability. Finally, I'll test the upgraded version's kickstand to see if angle adjustments make a difference. Okay, I'm going to try to put these suction cups to the solar panel. See how hard it is. It's not easy to put it into a hole because it's too small. Okay, I think I got one in. Okay, got it. For the upgraded version, you can tell it's much easier. That's it. Done. Okay. Now the 10-watt regular solar panel is hooked up to my battery. You see, the voltage is 12.55. Let's check the current. The current now is 0.72 amp. 0.72 to 0.73 amp. So the solar panel is charging the battery at 12.56 volts, which will not damage the battery. See, right now the open voltage was 18 volts, 18.2. Next, we'll test the upgraded version. Let's check the open voltage of the upgraded version. (18.8 volt) open circuit voltage. Let's check the current. The current is 0.33 amp. As soon as I connect it, it's dropped to 12.4 volt. So it's charging the battery at 12.4. Let me check the current. The current now is 0.74. So while charging, it's 0.7 amp. Okay. The next step is I'm going to try to move the panel inside the windshield to see if it will affect the performance. Okay, for current we have 0.56, almost the optimum. For the voltage, it's 12.54 for the upgraded version inside the van. Let's check the other one. So this is the voltage for the 10 watts standard version, 12.54 volts when connected to the battery. It's sitting in the desk. How about the current? Okay, the current we got 0.52 amp, 0.51, 0.5. slightly less than the upgraded version. So the one with the kickstand has a higher ampage when placed inside. So we got 12.5 volt after we rotate the panel. Let me check the current again. So we have 0.53, 0.52, 0.53 amp after we rotate the panel a little bit. So the angle does help a little bit to maximize the solar gain. While the panel is connected, let me check. Let's check the temperature. So the panel is 145, and versus this one, it's 142. So the upgraded version was 142, and that one is 144, 2 degrees higher. The battery is down to 12.04 volt after several days. So the solar panel cannot keep up with the draining of the battery. After 9 days, I got bad news. My Sprinter's battery was down to 12 volt, triggering a low battery warning on my phone app. The 10-watt chargers couldn't keep up. I had to use a regular trickle charger to bring it back to a healthy level. Why didn't these chargers work for my Sprinter? After some research, I found that Sprinter vans like mine can have excessive parasitic drain, especially if doors are left open during renovations, even with the lights off. Other Sprinter owners report similar issues online. For comparison, I have other cars that sit for months and start fine, so the Sprinter's power draws is likely the culprit. These 10-watt chargers might not have enough juice for vehicles with high parasitic drain. Let's break it down. For the regular 10-watt chargers, it is affordable at $22.67, it's lightweight, maintain battery voltage in low drain scenarios. Now, the bad thing is the one-piece suction cups are a hassle. No kickstand, no OBD2 connectors, not enough power for high drain vehicles like my Sprinter. For the upgraded 10-watt charger, it's much lighter at 7.9 ounce, easily 2-piece suction cups, kickstand for better solar gain, OBD2 connectors included, built-in dials for reverse charging protection, and it is slightly cooler operation. Now the con is the price is more pricier at $35.99 and still underpowered for high drain vehicles. Label deteriorated after rain exposures. I installed this solar panel 6 days ago. Let me check the condition of the panel. The front looks okay. Let me check the back. Ooh, the label started to peel off. So it doesn't seem like to be waterproof. It will come off anytime soon. After 2 weeks, the spec label on both panels started wrinkling and peeling after rain, raising durability concern. So are these Ecoworthy solar chargers worth it? For my Sprinter, they didn't cut it due to the van's high parasitic drain. But for a normal car with minimal power draw, locked and unattended, they could maintain your battery and extend its life. The charging voltage of 12.5 volt is safe and won't damage your battery, debunking those overcharging fears. The upgraded versions, better suction cup, kickstand, and OBD2 option make it worth the extra $13 for convenience. However, the appearing labels after rain worry me about long-term durability, so I'll need to test them longer. If you have a similar charger, let me know in the comments. Did it work for you? My fix for the Sprinter is to use a traditional trickle charger a few times a week during renovations. If you found this review helpful, hit that like button, subscribe, and let's keep the conversation going. Thanks for watching. If you want more real-world tests like this, subscribe and turn on notifications. Drop your thoughts or questions below. I love to hear from you. Until next time, this is Vinny. Stay charged.